China slapping a 5% tariff on U.S. oil. And while China can find oil elsewhere, it's already disrupting physical trade flows. Bloomberg's Anne-Marie Hordern has more for us. Anne-Marie, what are you looking at?
Good morning, Nara. I want to start with the numbers behind China and America's oil trade. Beijing is the 9th largest buyer of U.S. crude. Only about 1% of Chinese crude imports came from the U.S. in the first 7 months of 2019. This is according to data from China's General Administration of Customs. But Bloomberg New Energy Finance points out that China does not depend on the U.S. for crude oil supply, but the U.S. does need to find a buyer for its increasing imports. It's very important, of course, to President Donald Trump as well, making the U.S. an exporter of crude. However, the U.S. oil that China has already purchased is becoming quite the headache. Unipec, a trading arm of China's state-owned oil giant Sinopec, is trying to resell U.S. crude that won't arrive in the Asian country before those import tariffs take effect on September 1st. This is according to people familiar with the knowledge. At least 4 or 5 vessels carrying as much as 10 million barrels of oil are en route to China. As you can see here, they're spread around. The journey takes almost 2 months from the U.S. to China, and the tariffs from cargoes from the Permian Basin add about $3 a barrel to those cargoes from China. So they are keen to sell it, but the problem is finding a buyer. Refiners have already completed their purchases for delivery in October to November. So this race to sell U.S. oil highlights just how the trade war is disrupting global commodity flows.